guest. Good morning.
Good morning.
So everybody thinks about people who touch their lives. People touch your lives in just a ton of different ways, and sometimes even just in the tiniest moments, they make a big difference. It was Gandhi who said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." If you look at people who are already doing that, and people who have touched your own life, it's a great place to start. I actually hated the assignment in September called "What I Did on My Summer Vacation." I actually would have rather gone to the dentist. Except for the summer that my niece was born and I became an aunt for the very first time. It was an incredibly exciting time in my life, and I poured out the story of Lisa's birth on paper. And it was especially cool because she was born the day after me, so I was just abuzz with this when I went back. Now, I wasn't a very good student in grammar school, but when I got an A on that paper, I was beaming. But it was nothing to how I felt when I turned to the second page, and the teacher wrote, "Congratulations, Aunt Marie," right across the bottom of the page where the writing ended. I had an out-of-body experience at that moment. She totally understood how I felt, and it was wonderful. Sometimes people touch our lives and we don't even know them. The man who stops the bus so we can run and jump on. The woman in the grocery store, she had 2 kids in her cart and I only had my 1 son. And we passed and I just blurted out, "So tell me truthfully, do you love that second one as much as the first?" And she said to me, with this big smile, because I know a few months earlier she was thinking the exact same thing that I was, she said, "You know what, it's really true." Like she was going, "Yeah, I figured that too." It was like, "It's really, really true, you really do." And it was in that moment that the thought of my daughter began. Sometimes a random stranger can change whatever it is you're doing. I went to a McDonald's one day, I was totally bummed out, a million things were going wrong, and I just wanted to escape and have a short break. I sat down, and this homeless man came in and looked at me so sadly, so I handed him my French fries. And thinking I'd just go back to what I was doing, he gave me the biggest, broadest smile, and his eyes twinkled, and I looked at him, and I felt like I was watching the opening of a Disney movie. He wasn't crazy, he wasn't scary, he was like an angel in disguise, there to send me a message. And in the next second, I felt better, lighter, I had more perspective, I had more focus, and it was all because he was there in that exact moment. There's one woman I never got to meet formally, and that was the nurse at the hospital the day I came home from being born. I had 4 siblings, and my dad took 2 of them with him to pick my mom and me up. My oldest brother, Mario, and my sister, Christine, who is just above me in the family. Christine is 7 years old, and they both came with my dad, and my sister wanted to hold me on the way home from the hospital. This was her big wish. Now, this was way before car seats, okay? So she mentioned this, but my sister was timid and quiet. Nobody really paid any attention to her. And my brother also wanted to hold me. They were both super excited about seeing me. He wanted to hold me, and he thought if he got in the front seat, he was a shoo-in for the job. So they went up to the hospital upstairs to get me and my mom, come down. My mom's in a wheelchair. My dad goes to get the car to drive it around. And the second he pulls up, my brother beelines into the front seat. And my sister climbs in the back, and she's totally despondent. And this was the moment she waited for probably 2 weeks, and now she was going to miss it. Well, the nurse helps my mom into the car, and now the nurse is holding me. And she looks in the car, and she sees my super excited, energetic brother in the front. My mom is settled comfortably in the car, and she looks in the back and sees my forlorn sister with her sad face. And she says, "I think this baby needs to be held by her new big sister." And she opens the back door and hands me to my sister, who is absolutely elated. And she said she couldn't believe how she went from being so sad to so glad in 1 second. and how life was completely magic again. Well, my sisters say that the two of us have been friends ever since that moment. We have never had a fight the entire time I am alive. And we don't think that's unusual. We don't think it's amazing. We just think it's right. We have just clicked from that day and went forward. Now, I do get along with my brother. I love him. We chat on the phone and everything. But my sister and I have weathered storms and shared joys all these years like no other two people we know. So I thank the nurse that day for sizing up the situation and handing me to my sister. My sister and I say we have one machete and we hack through the jungle of life and we take turns using it, making the path smoother for the other person. Now, I think about all the people that craft a person's life, anybody's life. And I feel like all of those people create what is like a musical symphony with a million nuances, starting with whole notes and going on to all the different choices that music can give you, life can give you as well. Sometimes I just look at all the people in my life and I send out gratitude and thank you to them. The people past and present, far and wide, here and gone on to their next adventure. And I thank them. And when I do, I feel lighter. I just have a hep in my step. And I want to share that hep in my step with somebody else. Even if it's just simply by holding a door open and smiling to a tired mom with a double stroller. I think Gandhi's quote, "Be the change you want to see in the world," is a great one. Like any good idea, it shines a light on the path to greatness. And it makes me want to appreciate the nurse and the teacher, the mom and the homeless man, for the beacons that they truly are. It makes me want to stop a bus so that somebody in a hurry can jump on.
Oh,